Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Williamsville South Athletic Fields here in Williamsville, New York, as we are moments away from second round UWS Eastern Conference playoff action featuring the fourth-seeded Lancaster Inferno and the host and top seed FC Buffalo. Jeff Boyd here with Mike Babcock on the call here for you this evening. Two teams with some history, not some super recent history, first meeting this season, but certainly not the first meeting in program history, nor is it the first ever UWS playoff meeting between these two teams, who both had to scratch and claw their way here on Wednesday night. Top-seeded FC Buffalo played a slugfest down to the 80th minute before anyone scored. It was FC Buffalo's Danny Viss that tallied the lone goal of that contest and sent the top-seeded Wolves to another home host with a 1-0 victory over Albany. It was a much different story for Lancaster Inferno, who found themselves squarely behind the 8-ball, down 3-0 to New England Mutiny before rallying in the final half hour to come from the brink of elimination all the way back to the second round with a 4-3 victory. And it's like the 4 consecutive second-half goals that brought Lancaster back to Western New York one more time in a do-or-die, win-or-go-home second-round meeting. The winner going on to the national championships in California, the loser seeing their season end just about 2 hours from now here in Williamsville tonight. Your starting 11s for these two sides. First, for the visiting Lancaster Inferno, Elliot Breach getting the starting goal with Casper Kova, Ludwig, Weinhold, Shuey, DeGenova, Wenger, Rook, Richards, and Kiefer. The 11 getting the start today for Lancaster. The Inferno today in their navy blue uniforms with white numbers on the back, and here in half number 1, will be shooting the net down to broadcast left. For FC Buffalo, it is Bridget Mulholland drawing back into goal after the clean sheet on Wednesday night. It's Lazenby, Weir, Ford, and Jarosz at the back, with Woods, Viss, Bishara in the midfield, Kolniszewski, Van Cise up further, and the captain, Carissima Cadrona, at the forward of the attack. Today, FC Buffalo in their white uniforms with the blue numbers on the back, and here in our opening half, they'll be shooting the net down to broadcast right. A meeting, a very tense atmosphere here, and the crowd that continues to grow in Williamsville here tonight. If the games on Wednesday and the history between these two clubs is any indication, this will be a game that is settled much closer to 90th minute than first minute here tonight, Mike.
Well, the playoff game when they played 2 years ago was settled in extra time.
One of the iconic, in my opinion, and I'm a little biased, UWS playoff meetings of all time between these two teams that saw FC Buffalo escape with a dramatic extra-time victory on the skill and the touch of Kelsey Araujo. Lancaster starting with possession here today. Happy to have you here with us around the world from wherever you may be settling in to join our broadcast here today. Afternoon thunderstorms rolled through, and I thought we might see some of those early on. Beautiful touch in, and the first chance on is blown dead by an offsides flag. Marissa DeGenova was offside. She's the leading scorer of this Lancaster team. 6 goals on the season in 9 previous contests, including Wednesday's contest. She did not score any of the 4 second-half goals in that comeback, so maybe a good sign for Lancaster coming in here is that they scored 4 goals without DeGenova being involved. Only 20 tallied all season. It's been a team that has made their mark as a defensive and goaltending just masterclass, truly at points. Carried up the sideline, slid back into the top of the box. A great job getting back defensively by the Wolves. It's ricocheted out back near side for Grace George, who curls it back in. Ludwig has her first entry blocked down. Second whack on is punched up over the bar by Bridget Mulholland, and a perfectly tailored shot in by Ludwig forces the first corner here of the contest. Well early on here.
Well, we're very early on, but we're seeing something that we really haven't seen all this season, is a team starting early to establish themselves within the attacking FC Buffalo's defensive zone.
First corner of the match from the near side here for Lancaster. Just over a minute gone by as it's drilled back in, and that one read well by Mulholland. Bobbled for a quick moment, but able to track that one down and hold on to negate the first chance for Lancaster of the match after making her first save as well on what truly was a shot from Rachel Ludwig that tested the reach of the Buffalo keeper here early on. Played back inside, the Buffalo defensive captain, as Mike and I like to refer to her, Tess Ford at center back. Number 22 plays near side for Emily Lazenby. Sarah Woods Played up ahead. Leanna Van Zyl sending it forward for Carissa Catrona and a run up the near sideline. The Buffalo captain to it first. Draws back to her left, getting free from some contact. Slides back inside off the leg of Woods and deflected out away from trouble. Sent back forward by Lazenby, taken down by Catrona. Comfortable to her left. Catrona stepping inside a couple of defenders. Catrona still with it across the course. Kolniszewski shot scores! It took them 80 minutes on Tuesday. It's on Wednesday. It took them all 2 minutes tonight as Catrona sets up Kolniszewski, who drills it home, and the Wolves are out early. It's 1-0.
Kolniszewski is going to get her fourth of the year, including between regular season and playoffs. And that was just good ball movement by FC Buffalo, getting it into the 18-yard box and quickly passing it across to the wide open Kolniszewski, who put it in the back of the net.
They don't give secondary assists in the beautiful game, but Emily Lazenby comes up and heads that clearance attempt right back to Catrona. And it's Catrona who makes the work happen there from outside the 18-yard box, taking it inside, and Kolniszewski, when given the opportunity, absolutely drills it home past Elliott Breach. And what a start here for an FC Buffalo team. You wondered if maybe they needed a little bit more of an early start here tonight after what Albany, and especially their keeper Molly DiCaprio, was able to do to the Buffalo offense on Wednesday night. A picture-perfect start as Bashara plays back ahead, and FC Buffalo comes swinging back for more. Played by Catrona, hit off a leg, trying to tee it up for Van Zyl. It's knocked away by Rael Shuey. All the way back here to Breach. Grace George on the near side. The Situation Room across from us, the drums bang out with a lot of things to cheer for early on. Bridget Mulholland well off her line. We'll simply watch that one out for a throw. It'll be a Buffalo throw on the near side. And it's a Buffalo team that when they get the lead, Mike, they are so good at playing with the lead because we saw Albany do it for 80-plus minutes. The only real way you can try to hope to hang with this now 9-0 FC Buffalo side for any length of time this season has been keep the game even. Don't have your offense be forced to play and attack, because if you give more space to the Buffalo offense, well, this is a team that came in with 44 goals on the season, now 45. Here's Sarah Woods for a run up the near side, fighting through some contact. A little bit of a tug in the back of the jersey drew the ire of the near side fans, takes a bump as well as it goes out the back for a goal kick. And a ever-growing partisan hometown crowd here, none too happy. You can see the jersey of Sarah Woods leaving her trailing a little bit behind there as it was Grace George who got a little bit of an extra handful.
Well, the officials have been letting the players play a little bit extra, letting a little extra contact go through all the playoff games so far this season.
Certainly the way it was officiated here between Buffalo and Albany on Wednesday. Officiated very evenly both ways in that regard. I'm just sure that Sarah will, if she finds herself in a similarly light touch foul situation, maybe that she hopes that it goes her way as well the other way. That one's drilled out on the far side, headed forward. Getting back is Giroz, who watches it out for a throw. Shots early on here now into our 6-minute one aside. That's the one for FC Buffalo. Morgan Kolniszewski's fourth of the season, back just 2 minutes in. That is the difference here to this point early on in our contest. Juggle back forward, beautiful touch on. Catrona fighting through. It goes out the back, and that will be a goal kick. Very similar 11 to FC Buffalo, only changes really being Bashara in for Peyton Robertson, and we're seeing Van Zyl into the starting lineup for Marcy Barbarick. But so far, the 11 out there for FC Buffalo. Winning the first 5 minutes, but still plenty of time left here, and if you've heard us talk about or watching that Lancaster game on Wednesday, they are not afraid of being down a goal at this point, given what they were just accomplished in the 4-5 matchup the other day. 4 consecutive goals for a 4-3 victory. Nice move there by Bashara. Sends that ball far side in front of the goal scorer. Kolniszewski settles it down, drags back inside Danny Viss. The hero on Wednesday night, the lone goal in FC Buffalo's first-round victory. Giroux jumping up to the plate to knock it down, but it finds a Lancaster boot. Sent back forward, sending the Buffalo defense back on a full sprint. Giroux trying to get across in front of Kayla Kiefer. It's out, and it's a foul on Kiefer, who went right between the 1 and the 2 on the back of Gwen's jersey. Aaron Weir on the far side will Take the free kick back in here to Jarosz. Slid back ahead for Kolniszewski. Van Size. Back to Vis. Sent back ahead. Catrona calling for it. It's off a boot, bouncing down. Tapped down by Catrona, but too many blue jerseys over there. And it goes out on the far side. Thrown back in quickly by Lancaster. Back forward there by DeGenova. Ricocheting around in midfield. Captured there. Sarah Woods losing her footing for a moment. That'll allow Lancaster back to it. DeGenova. Back inside Red Whale by Jarosz. Punched high in the air. Bouncer over a couple of heads. Settling down 30 yards out. Kasperkova turns it back forward. Kasperkova slides inside Red Whale by Jarosz. Trying to go back ahead to DeGenova. That ball settled down. Ford comes across off a leg, and that one took a fortuitous bounce. Almost went back towards Mulholland, but it does go out the back for a goal kick. Good pushback there from Lancaster. This team is not going to go away until the final whistle blows, and even then they might try to find a couple more seconds if they're behind at that point.
Yeah, Richards did a good job there pressing the FC Buffalo defense and almost putting a deflection right on goal.
Rolled ahead by Mulholland to Jarosz. Vis's pass forward is blocked down, and so far Lancaster's done a really good job of pressing the action, making it difficult for FC Buffalo to get out of their own end. Forcing some turnovers here, keeping the pressure on. FC Buffalo massively outshot Albany on Wednesday in spite of the 1-0 scoreline. It was just incredible goalkeeping by DiCaprio of Albany that kept the game with just one goal in it. I have a feeling Lancaster will have a few more on. That one actually rolls out the back there for another goal kick. A few more chances for Lancaster on to Mulholland before all is said and done today than she faced on Wednesday night. 9th minute of action here. Second round UWS Eastern Conference playoff action here from the 716. Here on what have been informed is 715. Play back forward ahead, knocked down by Bishara. Jarosz has to be careful, back across to Ford, forced away from her, tending Mulholland off her spot, loses the possession, scrambling back, slid under her, and scores! Ludwig takes it away and slots it home inside the far post, and Lancaster's persistence is rewarded. As the visitors equalize in the 10th minute, it's 1-1.
Yeah, Mulholland didn't capture the ball clean and therefore just left it out for Ludwig just to have an easy finish right in front of the net. It might be a little wet and slippery out there as we had thunderstorms and rainstorms roll through the air earlier in the day. But yeah, that was just a very difficult ball to handle.
So Lancaster turning up the pressure. They are rewarded by keeping that forward press on the Buffalo defense. Nice back heel there by Catrona, knocked down and kept in play here by Bishara. Back forward, Leanna Van Size steps to her left. Across the field it goes, knocked down there by Danny Vis, going towards the far sideline, and that ball is, like you alluded to, Mike, it is certainly rolling away from some players out there. There is the potential of more rain of varying degrees in the forecast before all is said and done here today. No one knows. The weathermen don't know, and I certainly don't know. Played down by Lazenby, back for Ford. Danny Vis. Far sideline, Aaron Weir. That one's out before it gets to Kolniszewski on for a Lancaster throw back in. Over 10 minutes gone by here in a 1-1 first half. Breeze blowing across the field towards us here on the near sideline from what would be considered for the Lancaster attack right to left. Grace George. Ludwig, the score. That one drilled back forward, trying to drop it in front of DeGenova. Their beautiful ball forward by Rook towards the end line, rolling out for a goal kick. Great job defensively by Ford on Lancaster's leading scorer, DeGenova, towards the end line. Gwen Jarosz. That one drilled ahead far side, sent forward by Kolniszewski, bouncing towards the top of the area, but away from Catrona, away from everyone, all the way back to Elliot Breach, who skies it back towards midfield. Knocked down by DeGenova, turning her attention quickly to a pass to the near side, but taken out of the air on a half volley by Lazenby. Forward for Sarah Woods. Patience from Woods as she finds some space and slides it across the field far side. Kolniszewski trying to go forward, blocked down again. Tangling in the legs of Van Cise. Back for Danny Viss, now some space to be had, and there's a foul given, and I think Buffalo would have been pretty happy to keep playing the advantage there, but the referee's whistle stops it. It'll be a free kick for the Wolves on the far side of something you might consider taking direct here. This one just about 30 yards, call it 31 yards out from the far left hash. Erin Weir, as she is so often asked to do, will be the player to bring this back in on the free kick here for FC Buffalo. It leads me to believe they won't take this direct. We're usually taking corners and indirect set pieces. Has rolled it back a yard further, 32 yards away from Elliott Breach. Weir drives into the area, finds a friendly boot inside of Ford, and it's knocked out the back. It'll be a corner kick. A good job there by Ford, forcing further action here. It'll be the first corner of the match for FC Buffalo here late into our 13th minute from the far side, and Morgan Kolniszewski will go over to take it. Ten of the 11 available Lancaster players packed into the 18-yard box here now as Kolniszewski's left foot sends that one into the area. Headed out quickly, though, by Jackie Richards on the far side for a Buffalo throw. It's our first chance to take a look at this Lancaster team here live this season, Mike, and what stands out to me is we talked about it for FC Buffalo, this kind of 3-year plan of all these players who play together here, 3 years. How many of these Lancaster names and faces we recognize from the season 3 years ago, FC Buffalo's inaugural season? It's another team that's done a great job of building a core that plays so well together. Ball slid back forward off the leg of Woods. He tried to get it to stop. It rolled off the inside of her right boot, right back to Breach.
Yeah, it had to be a hard pass, but it was a little too hot to handle.
Nearing 14 minutes gone by in our opening half. There was not much of a feeling out process in this contest. Both teams with goals in the first 9+ minutes. Already more goals here in the second round matchup for FC Buffalo than we saw in all 90+ on Wednesday night. And their 1-0 victory. Turning it up the field here now. Nice run through there and deciding to play it back as Woods to Lazenby, trying to go back forward to Catrona. Settled down by Rachel Ludwig, taken back, chipped ahead by Bashara. Bouncing down, gets away from Van Cise, out near side, taken down by Woods. Can't get around Ludwig, played out for a Buffalo throw. Rachel Ludwig very involved here in the first 15 or so minutes now for Lancaster. Lazenby. Woods trying to go around to the outside. It is played back ahead. Sent forward again by Lazenby towards the outskirts of the area. Knocked down by DeGenova. Swings it across the field to some empty space. Only player there is Kolniszewski. Back inside for Danny Viss. From some distance, Viss will let a hopper go on, and that one will be caught and held by Elliott Breach. Now Viss, as she showcased on Wednesday night, certainly capable from some pretty good distance. That one, though, maybe a little more adventurous than her game winner on Wednesday night.
Yeah, there's a little difference between about 20 yards and about 30 yards out. But a shot in these conditions is usually going to be a good play.
I took a look at the field before the game. It's certainly not super slick, but it's also a field that has seen some pretty heavy rain today. It rolled through the area between 3 and 3:30 here in the Lancaster, Williamsville, Cheektowaga triangle of which I've existed today. Down to the far side for a Lancaster throw. Not to confuse Lancaster, New York with Lancaster, PA, which is why that was fresh on my tongue. Discussions being had, and indeed will be a Lancaster throw. Sent back forward by Weir. Weinholt will have another look at it now. Middle of the field. Gasparkova slides across for Grace George. Ludwig. Back ahead, one bouncer knocked down by Jarosz, and off her line and reading that one perfectly is Bridget Mulholland, who will scoop it up. Forward across for Giroux. Flight to far side gets away from Aaron Weir, out for a throw for Lancaster right in front of the FC Buffalo bench. Short bench here tonight for the Wolves. Part of the hope for them may have to find some more early offense. Catrona. That one slid forward in some beautiful space to be had on the left side. Two pressing forward. Joining the play is Danny Viss across on the near side of the box. Danny Viss waiting to her left, trying to curl the shot in. Blocked away by a couple of Lancaster defenders. Still with it now. Towards the near sideline. Viss off a leg. Comes back here for a throw. In quickly. Lazenby. Steps to her left, slides to the middle of the field, deflected back inside for Viss. Danny Viss towards the same area she scored from on Wednesday night. Bounces one off the turf into the arms of Elliott Breach. If you put a dime on the field, that was almost the exact same spot relative to the distance of goal, albeit the other end of the field here, that she scored from Wednesday night. Drilled back forward, charged ahead by Ford. That one going back towards the end line, away from Leanna Van Size, away from everyone and out the back for a goal kick.
Yeah, FC Buffalo needed this after the last approximately 7 to 10 minutes. They needed to flip the field back to being on the attack and in their offensive end.
Goal kick here for Breach. Has seen now 3 FC Buffalo shots and made a pair of saves to this point now, 18 and a half minutes in. Deflected down, Woods in midfield. Well played back forward, taken down by Ludwig, slid to the middle of the field, some good space to be had. Charging forward, DeGenova is off sides. Second time she's been just ahead, and that time, I mean especially just ahead of the play, as she was a half step behind Gwen Giroux.
Yeah, like you said, half step is the difference between having a one-on-one with Mulholland and being offsides.
It's a nice ball forward there by Kayla Kiefer for Lancaster. By the slightest bit of timing, whistled down and sent back ahead by Giroux. Taken out of the air by Lazenby, back forward up the near sideline for a Lancaster throw. George. Played down by Bashara, near side, just out of the reach of Woods for another Lancaster throw. George has sent it back in here again. Shots 4-2 in favor of FC Buffalo to this point. Both teams, though, have found one home. That one, again, just similar play. This time it's Woods pass to Bashara, just out of her reach there on the near sideline. It's a very solid, very tough Lancaster team. We're seeing that especially in the midfield. It's giving FC Buffalo some issues trying to build up their offense. The thing they've made look so easy at so many points this season. Kolniszewski's pass back forward gets away from its intended target, but still somehow squirts his way through towards Catrona, fighting through some contact, tangled up, goes down. Referee whistling a foul on Catrona there, who I think he usually could have called it on either or neither of the two players there, both hand fighting.
Yeah, there was a lot of hand fighting, a lot of contact there, and like you said, it could have went both ways, either way. Both, either, neither.
I think that's all the possible options. Back near side for Grace George. Lancaster trying to put the pressure back on Buffalo here. After a second-minute goal from Kolniszewski, Lancaster's had the better numbers, at least it feels that way, in terms of time of possession. Ball chopped back forward, bouncing away from Van Sies. Trying to take it inside, some contact there. Referee saying play on. Chip forward back by Lazenby. Catrona to her left. Catrona around one more. Tangled up, goes down. It's a foul, and this will be in a good spot here for Buffalo. This one almost dead set on. A little bit further than you would draw it up if you got your choice, but this time the right side of the midfield. Again, about 30, 31 yards out. It'll be Van Cise who stands over it here for the Wolves. We'll see what FC Buffalo can draw up from here. It is becoming a incrementally more and more physical game here as it goes on. 22nd minute, nearing its conclusion here. Every opportunity in this game. So important. Van Cise drives one forward, hits off the wall, and is cleared away from danger at the top of the 18-yard box, out the near side for a Buffalo throw.
Yeah, it looked like Van Cise was looking to lead a pass into the box. Instead it didn't get there and looked more like a direct shot instead of a pass going into the box.
Almost trying to sell it under the wall. Just try to get it in behind like we saw Albany almost do in the 94th minute on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it looked very similar to that kind of play.
Weir, her pass across gets just behind its intended target. It's cleared away by the Lancaster defense, and the Inferno trying to turn it quickly back on the counterattack up the far sideline. Jackie Richards trying to get around Jarosz, who does well to stand her ground there and win the ball back towards midfield. Back ahead, Ludwig. Kasperkova. George. Sent back far side. Taken on a volley away by Weir. Knocked down by Rook. Back for Jackie Richards. Richards inside from some distance. Rolls one on. Sending Bridget Mulholland to a sprawl to the near post. But it's wide of Mulholland. Wide of the post. And now for a goal kick. Pretty good look there for Richards from some distance and a tough angle to cut it in.
Richards did a really good job, though, creating her own space to be able to get that shot.
Back forward, taken down at the midfield stripe. Bodies coming together. It's one away by Rael Shuey towards the far sideline. Right back to it. Turned ahead by Kayla Kiefer. Had a little bit of space behind Jarosz, who does well to slide in there, force it back towards the touchline, back into the area. Ludwig turns on, saved by Mulholland. Did great to get off and take away the angle and collect a key rebound as well with a couple of Lancaster players in the area. It's her best save of the night to keep this game level.
Ludwig probably thought she had the opportunity of the night right there, but Mulholland was perfectly positioned and came up huge.
It's another beautiful play there by Kayla Kiefer, who sets up Ludwig already on one for the night. In the midfield, taken away by Teresa Rook. Back forward to Richards. Lancaster offense buzzing now. Richards from some distance sends one on. Takes a little bit of a short hop, but is smothered and held on to again by Mulholland. And that'll level the shot department here at forward side. Both teams with 4, both keepers with 3 saves. That ball sent forward in the general direction of the FC Buffalo captain, Carissa Macatrona, but away from everyone rolls on to Elliot Breach, who plays forward. Lancaster subs starting to loosen on the far side. They have a deeper bench today than FC Buffalo does, and they are hoping that may be one factor that can tilt this game slightly in their favor.
Yeah, that's one thing I was just thinking about, seeing Lancaster subs warming up and seeing Buffalo short benches. How much roster management, and how do you manage the roster when you're short-handed?
This is passed back forward in the direction of Catrona, gets away from everyone, played by Weinhold back here to Breach. So FC Buffalo just 3 available on the bench here today. A lot of the players out there for the Wolves did play 90-plus on Wednesday. Nice job in the midfield there by Woods. Gets away from DeGenova. Some help from Viss, and it's slid away by Bashara, but away from Woods. Played back forward by George. Steps to the outside. Try to go around Woods, and no such luck. Great job standing tall there by Buffalo's number 10. Volleyed back forward over the head of Lazenby, and that will make it slow, yet inevitable journey out for a Buffalo throw. 26 minutes come and gone here in our opening half. It has been a very even, hard-fought contest to this point. What else would you expect here in second-round playoff action? Kasperkova. Rook. Back for Weinhold. Weinhold steps inside, plays back for Rook, curls it far side, read well and knocked away by Kolniszewski. Morgan trying to step inside, and a good job getting back there by Teresa Rook to win it away and keep the ball in play. Send it back forward, where it's volleyed away by Buffalo's Jarosz. Knocked down in midfield by Richards. DeGenova. Grace George. Taken down here. Buffalo's Lazenby plays back forward up the near sideline. Sarah Woods. Utilizing all the space that she's being given here now as she crosses center field, still with it. Slides a pass to the far side in front of Kolniszewski. Kolniszewski curls one in on. That is caught and held by Breach. A lot of pace to this game here so far, Mike. Both teams capable of getting down the field so quickly on the counterattack. Very action-packed first half here to this point, just over 27 minutes in. Rachel Ludwig. Curls back inside, sent forward, and that one by Richards finds the arms of Mulholland. Don't believe we mentioned earlier, that was the second of the season for Rachel Ludwig that got Lancaster level back in our 9th minute. Answering Kolniszewski's 4th of the year for FC Buffalo. Sent back forward, trying to drop it in front of Woods on a long run. Sarah getting towards it, well off her line to knock it away is Breach. Might have been her only play. It looked like Woods was going to be the first player to get a foot on it had she not come way out to do so. And with that out of play, the Buffalo throw will be reset as we have our first sub of the match. Michaela Kasperkova will go off. Actually, have maybe a pair here. No, they're going to just switch sides. They're going to bring Richards to the near side and send Ludwig across. Something to keep an eye out for. Lancaster will take this opportunity to reformat their attack as well here in the 29th minute. We'll get to the number of the substituted player here momentarily for the Inferno. Sarah Woods trying to turn it up the sideline, boxed away well by George, who plays ahead to Richards. Rook. Hesitation. That's Madison Moore, number 33, who has checked in here for Lancaster for change of the match for the visiting side. 4th-seeded Lancaster. Talk about 4th seed, sometimes we forget how close these teams truly were at the top of the standings. Lancaster in the regular season was 6-1-1. Very, very good regular season for the Inferno. Ball played forward. On the outside, Buffalo trying to press it up that far sideline, running out of real estate, but it is a Buffalo throw deep in Lancaster territory. Ball thrown in, bouncing down to the top of the 18-yard box. Ricochets around on the far sideline, gets away from Weir, who will backtrack to it. Another Buffalo throw here. I see some umbrellas opening here in front of me. We are covered where we are, but easy to believe the rain may be starting here, where everyone just really wanted to show off their umbrellas here in our 30th minute.
And FC Buffalo has countered with a substitution of their own as Jarosz has come off.
It's Danny Braun-Martinez who has come on. Another familiar face to the hometown crowd here. Catrona trying to curl that ball inside. Gets their shot on a big save. Punched over the bar. What a take there by Leanna Van Size. Forces a save. The best of the night for Breach. And out the back for a Buffalo corner. Second of the match here for the Wolves. From the same spot as the first on that far sideline. Curled in, challenging, and that one got away from Breach, but luckily for her defense is there to help out. Lazenby didn't get a clean first touch on it there at midfield. Comes across trying to slow down the attack. It's taken forward. A nice move there by Kayla Kiefer. Some space to be had coming back here for Lancaster. Back inside, it's Rook. Gets between the defenders, trying to get around Braun-Martinez. Slides across, and she was whistled down before the shot. Braun-Martinez's first action off the bench, immediately scrambling back to do just enough, and I believe the referee's flag had gone up on the far side as Rook, one of those players we talk about who was so key and experienced on this Lancaster side, denied a shot that did, after the whistle, ultimately find its way past Bridget Mulholland. 32nd minute. This one promises to have a lot more tension, a lot more drama in it. Up the far sideline. There's a foul on Kiefer as she collides with Weir. We have free kick here for FC Buffalo, deep in their own end off of that.
Weir was slightly slow to get up, and that's something you don't want to see right now with a short bench.
Aaron Weir, one of the players who will be relied on heavily, certainly, in this game for FC Buffalo.
Weir is one of those players that plays the full 120 yards of the field.
Lazenby's pass forward, taken away by Weinhold in midfield. Chip back forward, bouncing ball towards the top of the box, letting that one roll towards her and having to come out ultimately and play it away as Catrona and Van Cise forced the action. Is breach. Weir. Golniszewski. Gets it back. Tap back inside. Danny Viss on the far sideline. Flag down. In some space is Catrona. To her right, trying to find it, and that ball just slides away from her. Is volleyed on the far side for a Buffalo throw. Trying to create some space. Mike to take that shot. And the ball just rolled away out of her possession.
That is something Catrona is good at, is creating her own space to open up for a shot. Unfortunately, she was not able to get that this time, but it is something that Lancaster does have to look out for.
Catrona this season with 9 goals in the regular season. FC Buffalo without today in their lineup their leading scorer. Both teams appear to be going back to their bench here, Mike.
Well, there was a loud reaction from the crowd just a moment ago, and it makes me wonder if there was lightning in the area.
Now, was it certainly a possibility in the forecast here today? The entire Lancaster team is back at their bench. FC Buffalo currently meeting at midfield. We have come to a pause here in our 34th minute of a 1-1 game. I'm going to do some very official science.
It is raining, yes.
It is very slightly drizzling. My favorite kind of meteorology is reaching my hand out the open window in front of me and seeing how rainy it is.
Oh, no, my stuff started getting wet on my desk, on my side of the desk, so.
I guess there's a little water here, isn't there? Just shows how much I'm paying attention to the game and how little I'm paying attention to anything else happening in front of me. Well, Holland's gone back towards the goal, so whatever the delay in discussion was has only about taken a minute of time to solve, and both teams are headed out to the field.
Maybe with the fact that it's near 80 today.
Could have been a hydration break, too.
But yeah, at first that initial reaction, that loud reaction I heard from the crowd made me think that it was that lightning had struck in the area.
It's odd to see only one team take a hydration break if that's what it was. A couple more Lancaster subs getting ready to check in here as we're back to live action in our 35th minute. On the near side, flagged down by Woods. Woods trying to get around Richards, tangled up there. Still fighting for possession, played away by Richards out towards the near side, and it will roll out for a Buffalo throw. And quickly by Lazenby. Ford gets it back from Braun Martinez. Played across for Aaron Weir. Slided back ahead. Catrona try to get around on the far side. Contested there by Wegner. Towards the corner, trying to find an avenue to get a pass through. It's knocked down by Weinhold off a leg. Still loose there in that area. Body's tumbling down, and it's a foul on FC Buffalo. Lancaster defense has done a pretty good job here so far. Just one beautiful run forward by Catrona to set up Golniszewski has been the offensive difference to this point for FC Buffalo. Back in the early minutes of this contest, officially a second-minute goal by Golniszewski.
Lancaster's defense is doing a very good job of positionally boxing out FC Buffalo, so every time they think they have an opportunity, there's somebody there marking anybody that could be open.
2 more changes here for Lancaster. I see Menser, number 12, is one of them out there. Here's Sarah Woods, near side for Bashara. Drag back here. Lazenby. Bouncer ahead. Turn back forward, trying to get in front of Viss, and a good job there knocking that one away. Ricochets off some bodies, and that'll come back. It'll be a Lancaster throw. They have switched Richards to the near side. Trying to utilize their space here on the near side. Jackie has been all over that far side of the field, was tangling with Weir. They flipped her and Ludwig. Be interesting to see if that changes how Lancaster attacks here in the final 8+ minutes of our first half. Turned around, played back forward. That one by Van Size hits off the leg, comes back where it's chipped to the far side by Madison Moore, who's frustrated immediately on contact. She got a bit under it. It's out for a throw. Throw in by Weir, who gets it back. One more time to Weir. Her pass back across is knocked away. Sent back forward. Lazenby's going to have to get over here. That one towards the top of the box. Lazenby chasing her mark to the far side and does a great job winning possession away. One-on-one defending there from Emily Lazenby, and a big play there to keep anything away, at least for the moment, from Mulholland. From Martinez. Back forward. That one gets away from Catrona. Buffalo captain contesting there at center field. Comes back, ricochets near side for Jackie Richards. Richards curls that ball in, finds a friendly foot, and a big save by Mulholland, who came across to cut down the angle, took it right off the chest, and fights it away on a big save. A beautiful ball across there by Richards. Denying the touch through there. I believe that's Kayla Mazzaros, who was the other sub who has come on here for Lancaster. As Buffalo will take this ball out of play as a chance to make a change of their own.
That was great concentration by Mulholland. She not only had the ball coming at her, but the Lancaster player also following up on it, as it was a very tight opportunity in on net.
Charlotte Pauley has checked on, number 27 for FC Buffalo. Believe this is her first home action of the season. What a time for it. She was in the team on Wednesday, but did not see any action. She checks on for Kolniszewski here. Buffalo trying to find a little more offensive firepower here towards the end of the first half. Play down by Van Size, back for Weir. Has to step around Mazzaros, plays back forward towards Pauley, blocked back down by Weir. Into some space in midfield. Slid across. Turned forward by Catrona, space for Woods, charging ahead. Woods one-on-one with George, who does well to stand her ground. Bashara trying to get forward, trying to get it off the leg of Richards at the least, who's forced back towards the near side, and with a beautiful touch, steps around Bashara and plays back forward, at least to force the Buffalo attack away for a moment. Chip back forward, sky high by Ford, out for a Lancaster throw. 41st minute of action here in our opening half. Played back by Rael Shuey to the keeper, Breach. The wind has certainly picked up here as the first half has gone on. Another factor to keep an eye out on here today, in addition to any potential slickness of the field. There's a foul in the midfield there on FC Buffalo, just past dead center of it. And give Lancaster a chance to take a few steps forward here. DeGenova will reset the play here. Drills that one into the area. Bouncer towards Mulholland, but away from Shuey. Over the head of Richards and out the back for a goal kick. And that's quite a weapon to have, a player capable of dropping that one into the area from that far out with any sort of consistency. The Lancaster leading goal scorer, showcasing the power of that right boot.
Yeah, that wasn't far from being on goal from about 50 yards out.
If she had intended to, I think she could have. Far side for a Buffalo throw. Pauly will defer here to Weir from Martinez. That one slid back forward. Nice combination passing play at the far sideline. Pauly going for a run, trying to get back in behind Weinhold. Inside, Van Cise plays back. Braun Martinez charging up, but it's knocked away at the last moment by the Lancaster defense as Buffalo had something building there. They will keep possession here on another throw into Danny Viss. Van Cise trying to step inside. Good touch through, contested there. Ball goes out the back, and it is a foul deep in Lancaster territory there as Leanna Van Cise does well to fight for her positioning and draw a tug on the jersey there. And this is a tough angle to take direct, certainly, Mike, but kind of a shortened corner kick there from 10, 12 yards off the line here. Drilled into some bodies, bouncing ball, back post, settled down. Chance had, blocked back down. Came through and is cleared. As far as Lazenby, who will let that one go from some distance. Lazenby just up over the crossbar and out the back for a goal kick. And she almost just spun that one home.
Well, that was a good thought by Lazenby, as there was a lot of chaos in the box, and Breach was still kind of trying to figure out everything as the play was moved back to the Buffalo defense. So it was not a bad idea to try to get a quick one in.
Just about 2 minutes remaining here before first half stoppage time. Time is a construct. Out on the near side here for a Lancaster throw.
Time, we just know what it is by what the scoreboard tells us, right?
I'm just a mouthpiece, truly, for the great soccer machine here today. A couple more changes late here in our opening half for Lancaster. Richards has gone off. Some changes on both sides of the field here for the Inferno, utilizing the deeper bench that they have here today. FC Buffalo has used 2 of their 3 available subs here. Lancaster now making 5 changes already here in our opening half. George. Forward, that one tapped away. Nice play by Lazenby. Bashara gets it through a sea of bodies, only to find the foot of Marissa DiGenova, who sends it back up the far sideline. Inferno trying to press, trying to create something here late in the first half. DiGenova from some distance hits off of Ford, who didn't want to let that one go through, and Woods will collect here on the near side. Back inside, Braun Martinez. Viss. Back collecting it there is DiGenova. All the way back here to Breach. Out on the far side, final seconds before any first half stoppage time here. Would imagine we're going to have a couple minutes. We did have that 1 to 2 minute pause about 15 minutes ago. A couple of goals. Other than that, a fairly whistleless game, at least to this point. Not that it hasn't been physical, it's just been without many whistles. Into that stoppage time here now. Will be a Lancaster throw in their own end. George will come across the field to take it here. It's Kay Liebel, number 14, who has switched sides with her here. Ball spinning towards the near side. Tap back. Liebel lost her footing for a moment, able to recollect. Played back for Shuey. Good job forward to win that one free by Viss. Tap back forward one more time by Van Cise. But as that all goes forward, away from her, away from Catrona, and into the arms of Elia Breach. Buffalo throw on the far side here now. Both teams would love a wonderful moment of celebration here in our first half stoppage time to take a lead into halftime. Lazenby. Bishara. High arcing ball curled into the area. Bodies there for FC Buffalo. Chested down on a volley. Still there with it. Curled off a leg as Danny Viss tried to find some more magic. Blocked before it made its way through to Breach. A charge sent to this one away from everyone out the near side. It's another Buffalo throw. Lazenby. Chipped high by Viss, headed forward by Woods into some space. Woods taps inside. Catrona puts on the brakes. Back here for Van Size. Van Size back forward, trying to put it back in front of Catrona. It's blocked on its way through. Ford pressuring Yurchak. Played back ahead, spiraling towards the near side, and they'll be kept in play by Woods. Viss trying to turn around. A good job there by Madison Moore, shutting down her airspace. And as that one's played back by Moore to Shuey, the referee's whistle blows and brings us to halftime. And to this point of our second round matchup, nothing has been solved. Both teams with early offensive successes and take a 1-1 score into our halftime break. Mike and I are going to take this break here to take a deep breath and settle in for what promises to be a drama-filled second half of action. Hope you have you back here with us for that second half here as well, folks. Wide around the world here on 11 Sports. Welcome back, everyone, here. Just a few moments away from second half action to decide the fourth and final team heading to the 2023 UWS National Championships in Santa Clarita, California. Lancaster Inferno, FC Buffalo, deadlocked at one aside through 45-plus minutes. Both teams with early goals. Lancaster so far has done a really good job of keeping pace with FC Buffalo. Thing that many teams have not found a way to do here, and more than keep pace with them points, Mike, they've really pushed the Wolves. FC Buffalo got on the board early. Morgan Kolniszewski back in the second minute on the end of a beautiful run by the FC Buffalo captain, Carmissima Catrona. Drilled one home to give the Wolves an early lead. That was answered off a bobble and a ball squirting away from Bridget Mulholland by Lancaster's Rachel Ludwig in the 9th minute. And we have remained deadlocked at one aside for the better part of an hour of real time and the better part of 36 minutes of soccer time since then.
Yeah, both attacks, I mean, it's not like neither team has had opportunities as the shots are 6-5 in favor of FC Buffalo. But both keepers have really been tested a couple times and have answered when called upon.
Both Breach and Mulholland have made some key and some difficult saves. These teams will switch ends here for our second half. Bridget Mulholland in the Red Keeper's uniform for FC Buffalo today. Now the net down to broadcast, right? Elliot Breach in the fluorescent green uniform for Lancaster Inferno here today. Now in the net down to broadcast left. The Wolves will start with possession here in our second half, looking to maybe find some more of that lightning in a bottle early offense here. We have mentioned this is a FC Buffalo team playing with a very short bench here today. Just 3 available subs off the bench here today. It will be certainly a test of endurance and fitness if this game is to stay this close late on into it. The rain has picked up a little bit. The wind has been consistent across the field from the far side over to the near side where we are, where the camera is for you all joining us here today as well. We are underway here, second half action. The ball gets away for a moment from Kolniszewski, goes shoulder to shoulder with Jackie Richards. It's taken back here by the Inferno on the near side for Richards, and it just bobbles off her foot out of play. The field conditions are less than perfect. It is a very nice field here on the fields at Williamsville South, but it is drizzling. It has been raining today, and I don't think we've seen the last of the rain by any means here today. That ball charged back forward, headed on there by Mazzaros. She remains on after coming on late in the first half. DeGenova plays ahead. Trying to work her way through. That ball tapped to the far side. Kolniszewski retreating back, and that one slid ahead by Weir. Knocked out of the midfield away from Braun Martinez from some distance. Shot is watched off the boot of Madison Moore. Out for a goal kick. Shots 6 for FC Buffalo in the first half to 5 for Lancaster. Both teams some quality chances mixed into those 11 shots on goal. Corners were 2-1 for the Wolves in that first 45. Goal kick played short there by Mulholland, near side for Weir. Kolniszewski's pass forward, away. Knocked ahead by DeGenova. Ricochets back. Tangled up in the legs of Danny Braun Martinez, trying to fight through some contact and has drawn a foul. And she had Kayla Kiefer draped all over her. Forward. Across the field, Emily Lazenby very involved in that first half for FC Buffalo from her right back position. Tipped ahead by Woods. Van Size. Trying to go back towards Woods and does. Sarah on a run to the far sideline. Looking into the area, takes it to her left. Woods curls a ball in. That one's volleyed out by Richards. Settles down in front of Danny Viss. From some distance, lets a one-hopper go, and that one takes a hop into the arms of Elliot Breach. Both teams with some looks from some distance early on here in the second half. Hard to understate the importance of either team finding some offense here early on in the second half and trying to really put the pressure on here in this win-or-go-home contest on their opponents. Like we mentioned, coming back, the other 3 teams who are going to the national championships have already punched their tickets at various points here over the last day or so. This is the last decider of who the 4 teams will be in this year's UWS National Championships happening this year in Santa Clarita, California. That ball juggled high in the air, gets away from DeGenova, scrambling back, and she will watch that one go out, and at least did enough to make some contact, drag it away from the corner flag for a throw as opposed to a corner. And ball blocked down by Woods, but ricochets off of her shin, and he goes right back down the field. Ford will shield that one for Mulholland to get at least enough of it to knock it out of play to the near side. Richards. Back forward for Kayla Kiefer. Steps inside, makes a nice move, curls that ball looking for the near top corner. That one sails up over the bar and out back for a goal kick. Nice move by Kiefer to get around Weir.
Yeah, that was a nice move by Kiefer, but she still had a bit of a steep angle to try to get it on net.
Far side, Lazenby. Ball drilled back forward, trying to spring that one ahead of Van Size over there. Ball collected by Woods. Back forward, Catrona there as well. That ball drilled in from some distance. Shots, goal! And from a near impossible angle, truly cuts in, drilled out of the outstretched reach of Breach, and FC Buffalo, again like the first half, find a way to get a goal and take back their lead at 2-1.
Sometimes it's not how hard you shoot, it's where you put it, and that is a case of where that shot was. That was just a perfectly placed shot.
Not much more you could do with that for Breach, and Lancaster's defense that has done a good job keeping FC Buffalo largely to the outside, really truly there, did still keep them to the outside. But it didn't matter with a shot placed like that so perfectly inside the post. And FC Buffalo have buoyed the home crowd here again, and now, as they have seemingly all playoffs long, Lancaster Inferno in need of another response. They trailed early. They trailed 3 goals and made a comeback to get here. But they'll need at least one more leveler in their playoff resume to keep their playoff hopes alive. Plenty of time, though, still the better part of 40 minutes, plus any stoppage time to do so here now as we clock into our 51st minute of action. Sent forward by Aaron Weir. Up down, Catrona applying some pressure and forcing that ball out for a throw. The Situation Room not too patient with that second Buffalo goal going up on the board. And they are relieved that their prayers have been answered, officially reading what it has been now for a minute and a half. 2-1 to the Wolves. Lazenby, nice shift forward on the far side, trying to drop it in front of Woods. Read well there by George, who volleys it out to the far side. Abby Bashar applying some pressure as that ball gets back to Ford, who sends it right back ahead. Catrona going for a run to it, and she would have to be superhumanly fast, I think, to get to that one before it rolls out the back for a goal kick.
Yeah, Catrona was trying to come back on from being off sides to make sure she was on sides before making that run. So that would have been a very difficult run for her to get to that ball. On
the heels of that goal, can't blame Ford for trying to put anything in the direction of Catrona. For the Buffalo captain, her first goal of the playoffs is her 10th of the season and has given her team a 2-1 lead. And truly, Mike, who else would it be? Weinold. Richards. Back to Weinholt. Ricochets off of Richards. Kept in play by Van Size. Comes back towards Kolonashevsky. Who's able to block it down. Comes back for Weinholt, who charges it forward. Sending forward across. And she will watch it towards the end line. And that one is kept in. And then a foul on Ford. Deep in territory here. And this is technically not a corner kick. But it's also not a corner kick.
Basically, position-wise, for all intents and purposes, it is a corner kick.
It's a step closer and a half step maybe to the left. It's not even closer. It's just a half step to the left.
They're actually placing the ball on that sideline.
Modified corner kick taken in by the Inferno. Bounces in the top of the area. Is volleyed away by Braun Martinez. Taken on a half volley by George. Blocked again by Braun Martinez. And played into some space as Buffalo has players forward on the counter. Sent forward. Leanna Van Cise is just out of her reach. She's going to try to get there before the keeper, who slides it away smartly. Good play there by Breach, realizing the numbers and the pressure coming forward. Just knock it out of play and let our defense get back. It's a Buffalo throw well up the field here as the Wolves were hounding, looking for another opportunity, trying to stretch their lead to 2.
Well, that was the only play Breach can make because you don't really want Van Cise and Catrona being 2-on-1 with you as a keeper.
Throw in by Kolniszewski. Cuts towards Danny Viss, towards the sideline, curls that ball back inside across the face of goal, and volleyed away before it could be tapped home. Rolls to the near side and out for another Buffalo throw. And FC Buffalo's offense humming now, Mike. Feels like the best they've been all night. Buoyed by Catrona's goal that has given them back their lead. Braun Martinez try to step back into that. Blocked away by DiGenova. Ricochet back towards Danny Viss. Gets through everyone. Van Cise is on the other end of it, and she's on the other side of offsides. And the referee's flag goes up, and we'll put an end to that. Leanna not the intended target of that, and that kind of put that whole play in disarray. 55th minute here in our second half. FC Buffalo on Catrona's 10th of the season have recaptured their lead an inch ever closer to what would be victory number 10 in 10 attempts. Lancaster Inferno, though, not to be dismayed. They were in a much deeper hole at this point of the contest on Wednesday and found their way here regardless. It's volleyed out by Lazenby for a throw, and how quickly the field can flip. There's an Inferno team that has a number of players who can score. We talked about DiGenova. She didn't even have one of the goals in that 4-goal comeback. It was Kiefer, Moore, Rook, and Schertzer who had the 4 in the second half for Inferno on Wednesday night. It's a handball. A little bit of a late whistle to the dismay of the home crowd, but the right call made by our head official. They're hit off of DiGenova.
Yeah, I was wondering if it maybe DiGenova's body blocked that because it got up into her elbow, the opposite side of the official.
From Martinez. That one's blocked. Comes back to Lazenby. In midfield, Woods trying to work her way inside. It's knocked away. Some space for Lancaster. Now trying to press it back ahead. That one is rolled towards Mulholland, and she'll have no problem with that. The wind could certainly be a factor here in our second half. It is picking up with some intensity across the field from the team benches towards the near side spectator area. Kolniszewski. Nice touch forward. Viss trying to get around Weinhold and did, but unfortunately was the last to touch that ball before it went out of play. Good defensive positioning relative to the sideline there by Lancaster's number 5. Kayla Mazzaros. Shuey. Weinhold. Ludwig. Nice ball forward by Ludwig, taken down, bodied away by Ford. Still loose in a dangerous area. Richard's shot is blocked and erased by, that's Emily Lazenby, number 3, who got in the way of that one and sends it out with some meaning to the far side scorers table for a Lancaster throw. Shuey. Forward, that one read well and played forward calmly by Weir, and that one just going to roll away from Van Cise. Right back to it, and right back to it defensively is Lazenby, who goes back here to Mulholland. Braun Martinez. Lazenby. Sent back forward, and that one was on sides, but it was away from Van Cise. It'll be out for a throw. Well-timed run, just shows the difficulty, especially from 40, 50 yards out like that pass is. Timing it right, and also still with the wind dropping it perfectly in front of the streaking forward. Weinhold on the near side. Ball contested, loose. Mazzaros. Step to her left, slides forward, trying to get the return pass, and does back forward. Deflected in, Mulholland challenging, slid forward, they score! And it's Kayla Kiefer who takes the pass and slides it past Mulholland, and yet again, Lancaster has an answer, and we are tied at 2-2.
Yeah, you always wonder how a team is going to respond, especially after giving up a go-ahead goal. And both times Lancaster has responded within the next 7 or 8 minutes with a goal of their own. They're definitely not feeling like at any point that they're out of this game. They just seem to look at it as a challenge to get back in it. And Kiefer tied it up. And this is going to be her second of the playoffs and second of the season.
Lancaster has found another answer, and still now with just over half an hour remaining in our second half, we have settled very little. Both teams have showcased why they have gotten here. And now one of these teams has to showcase why they deserve to go on to the national championships. Both teams searching for their hero in today's contest. Buffalo found one on Wednesday. Lancaster found 4 of them. Kolniszewski, that one just forward, knocked away by DeGenova. She's forced back by Kolniszewski, but calmly played away there by Wegner. Wegner again back forward, volleyed down by Weir. Taken here by Danny Viss. Viss towards the far side, knocked away by George. Bashara pressuring Richards, who turns the corner. Jackie Richards stepping forward, trying to split between a couple of defenders, thinks about a shot from some distance and lets it go, and that one will go sailing away into the cloudy night sky here in Williamsville out the back for a goal kick. Nearing the hour mark here. And much like our first half, FC Buffalo an early goal, Lancaster just a couple minutes later an early answer. We talked about the fact that I wouldn't will this on to anyone, and I'm far from announcer's jinx anything. I've never done that to anyone and would never do that to anyone. But the last time these teams met in the playoffs, 90 minutes didn't get the job done. And I'm not sure that it will tonight either. How about played back forward by Mazzaros away from everyone out the far side where it'll find the arms of Bridget Mulholland. Back inside. Ford. Viss. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a handball there herself. Weir plays back to Mulholland. Curl back ahead. Chance forward. Kiefer's shot scores. It's a brace in just moments for the Inferno. And for the first time here tonight, the 4 seed have found a lead. Lancaster up here in our 61st minute, 3-2.
That was a nice job just Kiefer taking a turnover and just converting it. That's one reason you don't want to turn the ball over so deep is it's a quick turnaround and basically quick to get it back on goal.
And she and Mazzaros combine yet again for the second goal of the second half. And the visitors, we talked about what they had done on Wednesday. At no point, really at no score, will they feel that they're out of this contest. And how quickly they've turned this game around from a 2-1 Buffalo lead to now a 3-2 lead for the Inferno. It's now Buffalo trying to press the attack. It's Danny Viss. Lost in a sea of blue, still has it. Goes back to Bashara, chips ahead far sideline. Flagged down by Woods. Woods still with it from some distance, curls a ball inside, trying to drop it in front of Catrona, but it's away from her out the back for a goal kick.
Like we've been saying, at no point does Lancaster seem to think they're out of this game. This FC Buffalo team also would have that same mentality. Even though they've never been behind this season, we've seen in the past where they have come back and gotten a few goals in tight situations when they need it.
Well, that speaks to the kind of year it's been for FC Buffalo. This is their first time trailing in 9.5 contests now.
It's also their first time giving up more than one goal in a game.
They've given up 2 in just moments now. 2 and 3 of the night for the Inferno. Lancaster will not be content at 3-2, given the offensive firepower at the other end, so you know they're going to keep trying to press forward and find that 4th goal. It's a throw here for the Inferno on the friendly side for them of midfield. And this might be where the shortness of the Buffalo bench especially becomes a factor in terms of getting fresh legs out there offensively. DeGenova. Lazenby gets tangled up. Ball squirts free towards the far sideline. Woods coming back and jostling for position. It's a Buffalo throw. That was a tough tangle there for Lazenby. Good to see that she doing all right there after that. One of the players, you really can't afford to lose anybody out there with the shortness of the bench, but Lazenby has been so key tonight. That ball forward, trying to work it free. And there's a foul on FC Buffalo just past midfield there. Little extra to it there, just trying to work that ball free with some space ahead. As Weinholt now for Lancaster drives the ball forward, one hop into the area. Richards to it, volleys it on and just missed. Mulholland came out to challenge and Richards got most of it and just did put it wide. Mulholland almost caught there just completely in between, and it's one of those plays, Mike, if you're going to come out and challenge, you almost have to just put your head down and commit to it. She second thought herself for a moment, and that almost gave Richards all the space she needed to stretch the Lancaster lead to 2. DeGenova with Catrona on her heels. Slides the ball back forward where it's flagged down by Ludwig. The first of the Lancaster goals coming courtesy of her. Kolniszewski. She has one of the 2 Buffalo goals. Now the captain, Catrona, has the other, sends that ball in the direction of Woods, but far too close to the keeper. And Breach will be happy to see that no one was in the area as that ball bobbled a good couple of yards away from her, but no one was around to pounce on it.
Yeah, that would have been eerily similar to, but opposite of Lancaster's first goal if there was a white jersey in the area.
Great play getting back by Ford to intercept that pass. Lancaster bench again beginning to rouse and do some stretches here for any changes that they'll make here. 25 minutes from any stoppage time here in our second half. Sent forward by Madison Moore on the far side, knocked down by Richards. Curled in, headed on, and that one sent just wide. Out the back for a goal kick, and Lancaster's offense has truly found their footing here in the second half. They had their flashes in the first half, but in terms of keeping the pressure on and trying to take it to and wear down this Buffalo defense, this last 10 minutes, not just the goals, but the general possession as well, has been outstanding from the Inferno. Forward by Woods, who gets tangled up and is slowly back to her feet now. Knocked down by Weinhold. Weinhold, it's over the head of its intended target, bouncing ball to the far side, contested by Lazenby, still free, rolling towards the touchline and out the back for a goal kick. Lancaster, though, enjoying what is their earliest lead of the playoffs, not their first lead, considering they did come back and ultimately have a late lead against New England, but playing with a lead for more than a couple of moments for the first time of the playoffs, and that pass sent forward is away from everyone, and Buffalo truly playing like they're feeling the pressure now. This is not a team that has played under a lot of pressure. They had some close games for sure, but this is not just in terms of the quality of opponent, Lancaster being a very good team. The moment as well, adding a lot more to the desperation and the tension in the home crowd. Back forward, Kayla Kiefer steps inside still with it. Weir gets across and gets a foot in to play it away from her. Key defensive play there by Weir. And now Buffalo has some space on the near side, and here is Kolniszewski. Kolniszewski slides a pass forward, inside, collected, and that one off the leg of and out of play. There's a whistle. There's a yellow card. Can't tell who it was shown to be honest with you. May have been shown to the Lancaster player coming back here. It's a Buffalo throw unrelated on the near side.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm not sure if something was said. That's Kayla Kiefer, that if that is, in fact, the player that was carded.
I think it must have been something said, because that one curled in by Bra Martinez from some distance, and that one's caught and held by Breach. Kiefer had the ball taken away by Weir, and you wonder if there was an extra shove or something said back behind the play. It was, whatever it was well away from the action, so good on our head official even keeping an eye on it. Late into our 68th minute of action as the ball is sent high into a windy night sky. Takes one hop, Ford challenging, ball comes back down. Braun Martinez plays back forward, and now Kolniszewski in some space again. Knocked down by Shuey towards midfield. Chip back forward by Viss to the far side. Woods will turn around and get on the end of it. Back forward. Pressing to it, trying to get inside. And doing just enough there is Shuey to shield away the Buffalo attack and allow Breach to slide in and scoop it up. Shuey, one of the two wearing the captain's armband out there. Very similar what we think of Tess Ford for Buffalo as the defensive captain, even though she doesn't wear an armband. Shuey and DeGenova both wearing the fluorescent green armbands here today. That one's on the far side for a throw as Buffalo will make a change. As Van Size will come off. I believe that's Charlotte Pauley who will check back in. Trying to get some fresh legs back out there up top. Looks like Woods will switch sides. You see Catrona going over to Nicky Bartholomew to discuss some tactics here. It's a hydration break in our second half, and not a terrible time for it truly here for the Wolves. It's over 20 minutes away from stoppage time. Back into live action now. Sarah Woods, who is slotted into a true attack position now, to the left of Catrona. Kolniszewski out there with Van Size off. Charlotte Pauley off the bench. Back forward off the leg of Catrona, knocked forward by DeGenova, and that will send the Buffalo defense back to it. Lazenby trying to turn away from Kiefer. Tangled up, takes a shove. Kiefer loses her footing. The soccer equivalent of ball don't lie. A very physical game here in the second half. Referee doing a pretty good job of letting both teams play. Trying to keep the whistle out of it. And Ford may have gotten away with maybe a slightly more egregious one there. The ball slid back forward and it just goes right to Weinhold. Pressure there by Danny Viss and turns it back defensively here to Wenger. Out on the near side, space to be had for Menser. Menser into the corner with it. Turns this one back inside. Some teammates on the end of it. Knocked down by Richards, and that one will get away from everyone. Pauley back up the field. Nearing the end of their 71st minute. FC Buffalo now needing something. Beautiful ball sent forward into some space to the far sideline. That shot from some distance. Creeper sent to a scramble, and it's just out wide. From 20 yards out, that one almost found its way past Breach inside the post, and it may take something like that to at least get a little bit of life back in the crowd and see if FC Buffalo can't be buoyed towards this goal here now. It's a goal kick. Breach bounces over Bashara. Taken down by the Inferno midfield, played forward by DeGenova, getting back to it in a hurry, and doing enough to turn away from the attack is Lazenby, who chips it up the field. Bouncing away from Bashara, and recollected here by Ryle Shuey. Wegner. Weinhold. No need really to press here for Lancaster. They can be selective. They will be happy to take their time as Richards goes for a run to the near side, but that passes away from her out for a Buffalo throw. And Buffalo's going to need some of that classic magic. Like Mike mentioned, they haven't had to play from behind this season, but this is a group that has, in their now 3 years together, largely, a lot of this team has played all 3 years together, have seen it all. Back here, Shuey. Again, content with Wenger there, the two center backs taking their time to reset. Weinhold. That one back forward, drops in front of Menser. Trying to get around Weir. Takes a step inside. Drills the pass across inside the area. Volleyed away by Pauly. Chested down by Danny Viss. Knocked away by Richards. Richards from some distance turns that one on. Punched by Mulholland up over the bar. And a beautiful take there by Richards. Forces a big save there for Mulholland.
Mulholland put every inch of her body behind that. If that was just 1/2 inch higher, that might have been in the back of the net for Lancaster's 4th goal. Mulholland did a good job getting up there to get it and punch it over the top.
It'll be their second corner here for Lancaster Inferno. 74th minute. And time not on the side of the top-seeded Wolves. DeGenova will take it from the near sideline here for Lancaster. Drilled. Back corner, bodies there, headed on by Shuey, blocked down, bodies still there, still dangerous, still on top of the area, shot taken and blocked away. Still, DeGenova will get another entry attempt here. That one is volleyed out, still kept in by Shuey, curled back far side. Appeals for an offside, not forthcoming, is chipped out the back, and it'll be another corner. Couple of key blocks as FC Buffalo selling out there to block a couple of good looks. Lancaster coming so close as they will also here take the time to make a couple of changes here in our 75th minute. Third corner for the Inferno forthcoming.
Moore and Kiefer are going to be coming off.
What a second half for Kayla Kiefer. Lancaster keeping some fresh legs out there, trying to keep the pressure on the Buffalo defense. Looks like Jerose is getting ready to check back in here for Buffalo as well. They may be the answering move. DeGenova again to take the corner into the sea of humanity at the top of the 18-yard box, and it's volleyed away. George back with Catrona at her heels, able to turn it back ahead. Lancaster just eating away time here now, and doing so while getting good opportunities. That one's blocked away by Ford. Volley back forward by Rook to the near sideline, and that one will go out for a Buffalo throw, and now Buffalo will make a change, or looked like they were going to, but they actually went in with the throw so quickly the referee did not signal for it. From Martinez, Lazenby gets it back. Played ahead for Pauly. Back towards Catrona off a leg. It's a Lancaster throw. And now Buffalo will get that change here. Braun Martinez off. Giroux's back on at center back. '76th minute of action. Kastrikova. That one drilled off a leg, comes free for Kolniszewski, trying to step inside and create some space there off the turnover. A lot of legs in the way, did well to push it forward for a moment and just ran out of real estate. Chested down by Lazenby, collected by Giroux, retreating to her center back position. Weir. Viss, forward, Kolniszewski. Inside, that one gets away, back behind Catrona, and Lancaster's defense will recollect on the near side. It is Menser. And as weird as it is to say, Mike, this is a Buffalo team that isn't used to really having to push their offense late in contests like this. Richards, 1-on-2, trying to split the defense, got inside with it. Richards shot on, scores! Went between the two defenders and drilled it home. And that may be enough to send Lancaster through. A 4-2 lead for Inferno here in the 77th minute, and Richards, who has had an excellent game, may have capped it off here.
That was an excellent effort by Richards, as it looked like she had actually been depossessed and looked like Buffalo could have possibly gotten the ball back, but she made a good effort to split the defense, get the ball back, and from really a tough angle.
It's a perfect shot.
Yeah. It was a tough angle and a perfect shot. That was a great individual effort.
And now truly FC Buffalo will have to turn the tables on the Inferno here now. Lancaster came back from down 3 goals in their first round match, and FC Buffalo now 12 minutes and some change in stoppage time need a pair to keep their perfect season alive. That one's out the back. It's a goal kick, and that will not help the cause.
And and you're talking about FC Buffalo having to push their offense. Usually this season, their offense just floats so naturally. Lancaster's doing a great job on the defensive, in the midfield and the defensive end of slowing down this FC Buffalo offense.
Breach in no hurry here. Every second meaning so much to FC Buffalo and took a few extra. Sends it forward, headed on. Weinhold plays back ahead, knocked down by Giroux, and truly now FC Buffalo will send as many forward as they can find a way to. Danny Viss around one, still with it, slides forward on the near sideline to the captain. Catrona, that one off a body, goes out the back. It's a corner kick. Smart from Catrona with not a lot to do with it. Just play off the defender and win the corner. Take it in quickly. Back to it is Viss. Danny curls the ball into the area, blocked down by DeGenova, and she will volley away. Weir. Headed away by DeGenova. Collected back by Richards. Sending everyone scrambling back nearing the end of our 79th minute. FC Buffalo down a pair and truly in desperation mode here now. That one gets away from Catrona, collected by Weinhold. Ricochets back to DeGenova. Slides across the field. Punch back forward. Kolniszewski goes in, tangled up. Slid in to win the ball away from Weinhold, but unfortunately for her, the next player to it also wearing the navy blue. Ford across the field. Lazenby sent forward, headed on by Woods, and that one will just roll into the area where it'll be collected by Breach. Pressure applied by Catrona to make her pick it up and at least put her on the clock here to get rid of it. Just over 10 minutes away from stoppage time. Weinhold. Up the near side, drops that one in front of Menser, trying to turn the corner. Menser across the face of goal, and there is nobody home, and that one will roll out the back for a goal kick. Mulholland will take it about as fast as you get the ball to stop rolling. Taps ahead to Ford. Weir. Woods. Weir. Ford. Across to Lazenby. Charlotte Pauley on the far side. Bishara. Giroux. Weir. Aaron works it forward, slides that ball ahead, comes back, trying to send it through to Pauley on the far side, but ricochets back towards center field. Recollected again by Ford. Time ticking away here. FC Buffalo needing something to come through, you would think, sooner than later, as Menser takes it away from Weir. And now Lancaster can take some time on the counterattack as Teresa Rook will be patient there at midfield. Viss. Ricochet's headed on. Play down by Giroux. Kolniszewski near sideline. Chips that ball forward, gets behind Weinhold, but no chance for Catrona to get on the end of it. Picked up and collected here by Elliot Breach. Breach will take a step. Drill that ball high in the air. Viss plays back for Weir. Viss. Kolniszewski. Forward, slides that ball, trying to put it in between a couple of defenders. Ricochets back to her. Kolniszewski. Off a leg towards the end line. Woods to it. Woods trying to wait out Weinhold. Easier said than done. Back inside the area, ball bouncing back all the way to the Buffalo back line, where it'll settle on the right foot of Aaron Weir. Giroux, beautiful bit of footwork to create some space. Weir forward back towards Woods, but away from everyone. And now truly, Mike, it looks like the fatigue of playing with the short bench here as well as catching up and compounding with the difficulty of coming back from down 2 goals here. A couple more changes here for Lancaster to add insult to injury.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of fatigue, Lancaster is subbing 2 in.
George will come off and Weinholt will come off, both of whom have had 83 excellent minutes. Actually, sorry, Weinholt will not come off. Weinholt's just switching sides. It's Wagner and George will come off. Weinholt will move into the center back position. 84th minute. Lancaster 4, Buffalo 2. Second round Eastern Conference. Playoff action here in the UWS. The Inferno currently riding like they did on Wednesday night. A just masterclass of offense in the second half. It was 4 in a row on Wednesday. So far to this point tonight, it is 3 in a row that have them moments away from the national championships. Weinhold. Sarah pressuring, and it gets tangled up there with the keeper, and the only play truly had by Breach is to just slide it out of trouble. Out for a Buffalo throw, comes back into the area, but a good job there, recollecting herself there by Weinhold to volley it away. 85th minute now. Ford. Lazenby. Giroux. Back to Ford, near side for Aaron Weir. Woods turns around and finds herself in some space. Woods back near side, trying to put it in front of Kolniszewski, and getting back there defensively is Taylor Menser, who's had herself a nice second half here on the near side. Takes it away from Kolniszewski, and will simply drill it up the field. Fresh off the bench is Gianna Yurchak, who's going to make this difficult. Well off her line is Mulholland, who will go for a journey. Mulholland curls the pass near side to Weir. Calm touch there from Mulholland, well off her line with Yurchak lurking. Hard to blame Bridget for a lot of the things that have gotten past her here today. She's made some nice saves, and some of the shots that she's been asked to stop have been truly just perfectly taken by the Lancaster players. Ford, boxed into blue, goes shoulder to shoulder with Yurchak and has committed a foul. And more than likely, and indeed will, receive a additional bit of discipline there. Second yellow of the match, first to the Wolves. It's a free kick for Lancaster, and they can just try to keep the ball pinned back down here and try to eat away at the precious seconds for FC Buffalo. They'll have to retake the free kick there. Shots even to this point of the contest at 9 aside. Lancaster has converted on 3 of their 4 shots here in the second half. And that looks like it'll be the difference here tonight. Viss. Blocked down by Rook. Viss gets it back ahead to Woods. Woods inside to Catrona. Catrona across the field. That one chipped back ahead. They've got to get everybody forward as much as they can here. Playing without their leading scorer, Marcy Barbarick, here tonight, and without a lot of the familiar faces. Still with some scorers out there who need to find lightning in a bottle, you would think. It's another Lancaster throw on the far side. Lone Buffalo goal of the second half was an absolute cannon blast from Catrona from the far side that found its way magically home. There's a shot from some distance, and that will simply go out the back. I think that Yurchak will be more than happy to force a couple extra seconds off the clock and force a goal kick here. Mulholland will settle and take it as quickly as she can. Ford. Played back forward, and that one is just drilled back ahead. Lancaster simply content to take the seconds away here with a 2-goal lead. And for the Inferno, if this is to be the final score, it is a well-earned result for them here, not just today, but so far this week. That'll make them the 4th of the 4 teams who will qualify for the national semifinals. All the way back here to the keeper, Breach. Sends that one back towards the center field stripe. Flag down. Danny Viss. Knocked down by Eberle. Bashara. Giroux. Far side for Lazenby. Ahead to Giroux. Volley back down by Rael Shuey. As calm as can be from the co-captain. Back forward here to Menser. Played forward by Rook. Sends Aaron Weir back to it, and Weir will go back here to Mulholland. 89th minute, Buffalo still needing 2 goals, and with this looking to be the end of the FC Buffalo season. It's a shame to see it end this way. It's really been a magical run, and while the result tonight will end it, it won't take away what they accomplished, which is to say a perfect season. 44 goals, conceding just 5 in the regular season, 9 straight victories to bring them here today. And a team that looks like it is built to contend in the UWS year over year. 3 playoff berths now, and meaningful playoff berths at that, in 3 seasons of existence. And I think I speak for the both of us that we're just happy to be a small part of it and be here with all of you. And happy to have had one more step of this journey here tonight. Maybe it has one more twist or turn in it. Giroux. Knocked away from Lazenby, played back well forward by Tess Ford, played by Pauly. Catrona trying to work herself out of a tough situation, find some room for a shot from some distance that will find the awaiting arms of Elliott Breach. 90th minute here now, just seconds away from second half stoppage time.
That Lancaster defense is they're so strong in position, they're so stifling that was one of the better opportunities that FC Buffalo has gotten in quite a while.
Do you think even about the FC Buffalo goal here in the second half, it wasn't really a good opportunity. It was just a perfect shot on a fairly run-of-the-mill opportunity. It was not a... You would be more than content to let most people shoot from there. Now, Catrona is not most scorers.
Right.
But even for her, you might be like, okay, if she wants to take those, we'll let her take those all day. She scored it. But very little has been given to the Buffalo offense in the second half, and it has truly been, in the second half, even more so mayhaps in the first, a complete dominance at both ends of the field by Lancaster Inferno. Their offense has been creative, taking their chances when they've been given. Their defense has been stifling, and when called upon, credit to the keeper. She's been very good. We are into second half stoppage time here now. Catrona tangled up, all worked free by Rook. And slid back ahead. Lancaster not needing truly to press anything forward here now. Can't figure there would be too many minutes of stoppage time. As really outside of the goals in a 10-second conversation about a booking to 4, there have not been really any whistles or stoppages. Played back forward. Now by Lazenby. Off a leg and out for a Lancaster throw as the wind continues to whip around here. I lost one of my sheets of paper. I had done a really good job the entire game with this window open of not losing anything until the 89th minute. I was really, really hoping to make it through.
Well, it's unusual that the wind is blowing across into
it doesn't
the press
really
box.
blow at us in this press box very often. It's just one of those days where the wind is whipping around here in western New York. A lot of rain in the forecast tonight. There's a foul and a free kick there at midfield. If there is a silver lining, it turned out to be a little bit drier of a game than I thought it was going to be. Catrona trying to step inside, blocked off well there by Liebel. On the far side, drilled ahead. Back across midfield, ball bouncing down. Mulholland, well off for line, will have to be the first player to it here now. Buffalo has sent everyone forward. Mulholland's pass, though, gets away from Weir with a little bit of a wind assistance, you would think. And it's out for a Lancaster throw. As the Inferno know now that they are just waiting for one final whistle that'll signify success as the 4 seed. And they have done what no other team has been able to do all season. As the Lancaster Inferno come into Williamsville, and they have knocked off previously undefeated FC Buffalo. 3 consecutive second-half goals have spoiled the home crowd's night as the Inferno advanced to the national semifinals with a final score of 4-2.
Yeah, Lancaster, their defense was stifling all game. They took advantage of their opportunities. They deserved the result they got.
3 consecutive second-half goals, 2 from Kiefer, 1 from Richards. Solid keeping by Elliott Breach, and like Mike mentioned, just truly excellent defense, just limiting the chances, especially right after that second FC Buffalo goal. FC Buffalo was pressing up 2-1, trying to find more. Nothing was given. The defense carried through to the offense, took them home, and Lancaster, well-deserved, will advance as the 4 seed through to the national semifinals in Santa Clarita, California. This is our last chance here now, Mike, for the season. I almost was